This afternoon, we're really showcasing the way in which a lot of different industries are being impacted mightily by blockchain, or people are making great plans, and some of them are actually executing on them. The next company we'd like to bring up here is G8C, and they're doing amazing things in that space with the help of a woman named Juliet Adelstein, 8 years in the marketing space in Japan, but now she's running this company that is bringing blockchain into the iGaming world. Juliet, please come on up and tell us all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Juliet Adelstein, thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, can I just take this opportunity to thank all the organizers and the entire staff at NextChange. Thank you so much. What an absolutely fantastic job you've done. Thank you for making something that can often be a very draining experience a true pleasure. I am Juliet Adelstein, the COO of G8C, a Ganapathy Group company. As a publicly listed company in the UK, iGaming licenses in Curacao and Malta, and contracts with majority of the iGaming industry's operators and platforms across Europe and Asia. Our experience in the industry is extensive. And it is precisely this reach and our desire to understand the limitations of the industry currently that led us into the world of blockchain and virtual financial assets. So, today, I would like to briefly discuss with you all the advantages and evolution of iGaming into blockchain and the huge potential for the future. To begin with, I would like to put the iGaming industry into perspective for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, as the sheer scope of this industry is what makes it so exciting for the blockchain world. iGaming is currently a $60 billion global industry. Sales in 2017 exceeded $270 billion. Not only this, the market is growing steadily and confidently at 10% annually. Growing adoption of smartphones and tablets and easy access to online platforms have driven the market beyond comprehension these past few years. Overall technological advancements, along with the addition of robust regulations, have all assisted in the general boost in market demand. Just to put it in perspective, 11% of total internet traffic now comes from iGaming players. To put it very simply, the industry is enormous. Yes, advancements in technology within this sector have been prevalent, but mainstream adoption of the very latest technologies still has a considerable way to go. What now seems to me to be an absolute no-brainer, a year ago was still completely unexplored territory within the industry. That is, that the iGaming world and the blockchain world are a match made in heaven. One of those few circumstances in life where each gives more to the industry than taking away from it. Yet still, the uptake appears to be slow. Perhaps it's simply a case of why change something that isn't broken? Or perhaps a reflection of a much larger issue within the iGaming sector. That is, the unwillingness to be the first to push boundaries and take risks, or to challenge the status quo. But at Ganapathy and G8C, that is entirely what we're about, and we intend to do so in every way we can, and in particular, through blockchain. Because it seems fairly straightforward, but the better the technology gets, the more we embrace it, the better the entire gaming experience becomes. Allow me to tell you a little bit more about how blockchain first came to be on our radar, because this directly links back into why blockchain will be so fundamental to iGaming in the future. Research into our client base, and even more importantly, our potential yet still unrealized client base, is an essential part of our business development. Moreover, finding the right balance between Asia and Europe can be very difficult for us, as they're often polar opposites. Let's see, to give you an example, in Asia, the players want the results of each spin or each turn instantly. How they got there doesn't matter, as long as the figure in their credits is increasing. European players, on the other hand, like to feel that they have more control over their destiny. They like to know how they won and what the journey looked like. Of course, I'm completely generalizing here, but what I'm trying to get across is that sometimes, with the same product, we have to achieve two different results. Now, we make one product for Europe and one product for Asia. So, where we find differences, we also need to find similarities. In fact, that's one of the reasons why Hong Kong is so interesting to us, because it's this perfect mixture and melting pot of heritages and cultures, which is a perfect mix for us. But anyway, as I was saying, we thrive to find similarities so that we can expand our business in a way that covers all across the board. Now, in the iGaming world, there is one factor which is a huge thing that resonates across both European and Asian players, and any player in the industry for that matter, and that is the issue of trust, or the lack thereof. Now, if we had a room here of iGaming executives, I can guarantee that within 10 minutes, they would have you all convinced that the industry is entirely trustworthy, that there are such strict regulations, checks, and policies in place that absolutely any obscuring of the system, any attempt to scam or alter results would immediately be stopped. And you know what? There would be absolutely no exaggeration or no bending of the truth in their comments. But if the players themselves don't believe this, if the players themselves don't trust operators and platforms, then none of this matters. All we've managed to do is pat each other on the back at night and go to sleep knowing that once again we've been fair and decent. Now, this is an issue that needs to be fixed. So, what solves trust? Yes, transparency. And what provides transparency? You guessed it, blockchain. Now, thanks to fabulous connections in Malta, due to having our gaming licenses and offices there, and in particular, incredible support and guidance from the Prime Minister of Malta, who has stood by our project from day one, G8C was thrown into the world of blockchain firsthand. And what we thought was an unprecedented technology that would help us create transparency across our games and eventual platforms was truly just the beginning. The solutions that blockchain could provide, not just the players, but operators, platforms, aggregators, I could go on, the entire industry in fact, are endless. To briefly cover some of them, transactions for players are considerably easier when using blockchain. By using their online wallets, deposits are instant, whether it be fiat or virtual assets. And even more importantly, withdrawals are instant, meaning players feel in control of their decisions and destinies. They're able to take their money out as soon as they want to, or put on that last-second bet at the ease of a click of a button. Further, in not having to use third-party payment solutions, transaction fees are cut down considerably. Overall, costs are cut, time is saved, and the entire experience is a far more enjoyable, user-friendly platform where the player can be playing in the best possible mood and environment. Add to this the transparency that I mentioned earlier, which would allow absolutely any player at any time to confirm that their bet wasn't rigged, that their spin wasn't unfair, that they had just as much chance as the person next to them to win or lose, and you've all of a sudden got an iGaming platform that speaks to the players, rather than making them feel that they're being taken advantage of at every second. Now, whilst this sounds fantastic for the players, think about what this means for the operators and platforms themselves. An operator with the iGaming solution on a blockchain platform all of a sudden has a product that is completely different in a sea of wildly repetitive, indistinguishable clones. And the advantages for the operators don't stop there. Whilst transparency is great for the players themselves, this transparency also provides the operators with huge advantages. The beauty of blockchain, as you know, is that everyone can see everything. Everyone is on the same page, and everyone becomes the security in that sense. Underground hacking and scamming on the side of the players will now be eliminated for operators, all without the operators having to lift a finger, as checks will be happening constantly by people all across the chain. The players feel in control, and the operators, who currently have huge teams in place to manage these scammings, will have all the work done for them without lifting a finger. And of course, there's the ease of both administration and overall monitoring that is supported by a decentralized management system. Lower admin time means lower admin costs, which means overall profits that can then be passed on to the shareholder, player, or whichever way the operator chooses to share the love. Finally, and I could speak for a full 15 minutes on this subject alone, but the anti-money laundering policing capabilities that blockchain could provide within the iGaming industry, another huge issue, are endless. But that's a conversation for another day. Now, one thing I want to clarify here is what the iGaming industry doesn't need is simply another ICO collecting funds from pre-established connections simply to preemptively launch them on an exchange simply to artificially inflate their value. There's been more than enough of that to last us all a lifetime, I think. What the iGaming world needs is regulated projects which are utilizing blockchain and the other advantages and tools that come from this to better the industry. So, a fundamental point for the industry is that if alongside the blockchain there is also a connected token, that this token has an actual use, something with true value. To create a utility token that not only has a definite degree of usability, but to create something that players, operators, and platforms would all be able to utilize and maximize. To provide players, operators, and platforms with peace of mind and a product that they would all want to use. And most importantly, for these virtual financial assets to be regulated, to have constant checks, and to be something that people can rely on is more important than ever in the current environment. For us, the solution of being regulated in Malta was a no-brainer. Not only did we already have our iGaming licenses out there, but the speed and pace at which Malta, the blockchain island of the world, is moving forward in the right direction spoke out to us instantly. The MFSA, Malta Financial Services Authority, has been at the forefront of the movement towards regulating virtual financial asset projects, and their support has been unwavering, something very important to us. As a publicly listed company, we're constantly aware of how closely watched we are, and at the heart of our company, we've always had a firm focus on the legalities of the entire process. I am lucky enough for my two co-CEOs to both be lawyers from Japan and Malta, and it is through this legal stability that reassurance and belief grows. In fact, on that note, I would like to briefly invite my Japanese CEO, Mr. Hayato Terai, to briefly join me on stage to say a few words, because his knowledge and guidance on these topics is undeniable. Thank you, Hayato.
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you. Our co-CEO, she's just wonderful to have with us. It's a great honor to speak here. I didn't really imagine to be here, actually, but since I'm invited, I'd like to speak a little. Like Juliet said, I'm an attorney in my country, Japan, and I have been practicing law for 20 years. I specialize in corporate law, and there's a little thing that I had to come to notice. Well, it's not a little, it's a large thing. I think regulation, being regulated, is very, very important. There are a lot of industries. I think any industry should be regulated, especially the blockchain industry, which is very wonderful, very new, but maybe not so much regulated. But I truly think that it should be regulated throughout the entire world. And I guess that's what I'm here, but that's what I'm trying to achieve with the G8C Limited, which I am the CEO of. Well, I guess Juliet had spoken a lot. I think I'll leave it to Juliet. Thanks, Juliet.
Thank you, Hayato. Now, I think that's more than enough from us and what G8C and the iGaming world is all about. Because to be honest, we're just a tiny speck of sand in this great coastline that is blockchain. And just from hearing from everyone I've met these past 2 days, if there's anything I'm sure of, it's now more than ever that the waves of change are upon us. If there's one thing I keep having my eyes open to, it's that the blockchain world is bigger and greater than any of us could have ever imagined. And if we all work together, we all collaborate, and we all lift each other up, then the opportunities are endless. So thank you all for your time today. And if you'd like to hear more about us or share some thoughts or two, then please come and find myself and my incredible international team over at the G8C booth at A1. And let's make magic happen together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, or should I say domo arigato? Domo arigato, Tarai-san. Hi, domo. Okay, and thank you to Juliet Adelstein for coming up here. It's an exciting, fascinating industry gaming. I know we're here in Hong Kong. It almost feels like it should be in Macau, but fantastic.